My name is Russell Roberts. I am the Plattsburgh State Television Director of Promotions, and I handle all of the promotional content that Plattsburgh State Television is required to produce throughout the semester. Let's see the steps in creating a promo. Essentially, it really goes back to the three phases of production. First, there's pre-production, in which case I have to develop the idea, if it's going to be a comedy, if it's going to be a drama. So after I have an idea, I try to make it reality. So in pre-production, the next step would be a storyboard. Try to figure out images or plot elements that could somehow take this idea and be allowed to put it onto a television. The first step in deciding a good promo. Well, it really depends on your visual elements. It also depends on your plot. If it's going to be funny, if it's going to be sad. For PSTV, for college television, for student-produced television, it should have some kind of motive, whether that's comedy or drama or even a dramedy. However, in terms of a way to keep people entertained, keep them tuned in, has to be comedy. Has to be something to keep them visually entertained, keep them from turning the channel. And then after that, it really just gets into the production phase, the second phase, the principal photography phase, you could say, and that's generally the part that takes the longest, is trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, how many takes you need, etc. I would say the production phase takes a long time because you have to find talent, you have to call a crew, you have to plan a shooting schedule, you have to think about how many takes you're going to get, if you want something else from the talent, if you want something else from the crew. So generally, I would say the production part is the most, followed very closely by post-production, depending on how big the idea is. So in terms of composition, it's really about what looks good for the actual promo. Like if it's a POV shot, you may not want to do, so many close-ups. If it's just a basic long shot and you're just trying to get an establishing shot, you want to make sure that the composition is good and that all subjects are seen. So again, it always just goes back to the needs of the promo and where it's being shot. Then finally, there's post-production, putting all the effects in that give it its pizzazz that helps bring credibility to the PSTV. Editing techniques, nothing in particular, just the basics. Make sure that the audio is good, that color correction is done when necessary. Mostly, I've come to believe, for the most part, that a lot of post-production can be avoided if you utilize the production phase properly. White balancing, black balancing, zebra stripes, etc. Fresh and interesting promos. Now that is the task. That is what the director of promotions is challenged with. That's the person's objective. I remember when I was in PSTV and we didn't have a director of promotions. We just played the same promos over and over and over again until May, and that was no bueno. So we decided to create a position for promotions. My goal is to take the fresh ideas and to develop more and to create them, no matter how done they are, no matter how complex they are.